I am 54 years old, and I am sitting at a kitchen table that doesn't belong to me, in an apartment that doesn't feel like home, under a fluorescent light that buzzes like it's trying to tell me something I already know. The refrigerator behind me hums. There's nothing in it. A couple of ketchup packets from a drive-thru I walked to because I still don't have a license. A half-empty bottle of water. That's it. That's what freedom tastes like, apparently. Ketchup and fluorescent lighting. But the thing on the table in front of me, that's what I need to talk to you about. It's a cardboard box, yellowed, dented on one corner, got a stamp on the side that reads, "Evidence, Personal Effects." They handed it to me 3 months ago when I walked out of a place I never should have been. 30 years. 30 years they kept this box in some storage room, and 30 years I kept breathing in a cell. And somehow the box looks older than I do. My hands are shaking. They've been shaking since I sat down. And I need you to understand something before I open this. Everything I'm about to tell you is a warning, not a story, not entertainment. A warning. Because I lost 30 years of my life to a lie. And what's inside this box is the proof that while I was gone, life kept moving without me. It didn't slow down. It didn't wait. It just kept going, like I was never there at all. I'm peeling the tape now. It's old, brittle, comes off in pieces. And inside, stacked in neat little bundles held together by rubber bands that are so dry they snap when I touch them, are birthday cards. Dozens of them, grouped by decade. And the handwriting on the first one is so small, so crooked, so full of love that it cracks something in my chest I thought was already broken past the point of feeling. Let me go back. Let me tell you who I was before this box existed. In 1994, I was 24 years old and I was invincible. At least I thought I was. I had a job at a warehouse on the east side. Double shifts, diesel fumes and cardboard dust so thick you could taste it on your tongue at the end of the day. My hands were always dry, always cracked, always smelling like packing tape and sweat. And I didn't care. I didn't care because I was building something. I had a girlfriend, Janelle. God, Janelle. She was 5 months pregnant, and she had this laugh that made you feel like the whole room got brighter. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment with a window that didn't close all the way. And I remember the sound of traffic at night mixing with her breathing while she slept. I tried to put a crib together. Got it wrong twice. She laughed at me both times, and I laughed too, and I remember thinking, this is it. This is what a life is supposed to feel like. I believed in something back then. I believed the lie that most people believe. The lie that the truth protects you, that if you're innocent, the system will figure it out, that justice is a machine that works slow but works right. I believed that with my whole chest. I believed it the way you believe the sun will come up, without question, without doubt. Then they arrested me, October 14th, 1994. Eyewitness identification. A woman I'd never met pointed at me through a one-way mirror and said, "That's him." She was wrong. I know she was wrong. And 30 years later, a DNA test proved she was wrong. But on that day, her finger was a verdict. and my life was over before the trial even started. My public defender met me twice. Twice. The first time he mispronounced my name. The second time he told me to stay optimistic. That was his legal strategy. Optimism. The trial lasted 11 days. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. 4 hours to decide the next 3 decades of a man's life. I remember the gavel. It didn't sound the way it does in movies. It was quieter, duller, like a door closing in a house where no one lives anymore. And behind me, Janelle screamed. Not a movie scream, not dramatic. It was this raw, guttural animal sound, like something was being torn out of her body. And they led me out a side door, and that was the last time I saw her as a free man. That was the last time I smelled her perfume, this cheap vanilla thing from the drugstore that to this day is the most beautiful scent I've ever known. And I kept believing, even then. I kept thinking, they'll fix this. The appeal will work. Someone will look at the evidence. Someone will care. Nobody cared. Now let me tell you about 2 moments that broke me. Not bent me. Broke me. The way you break a bone so badly it never sets right again. The first was in 1997, 3 years in. They brought Alicia to see me, my daughter. She was 3 years old, and Janelle carried her into the visiting room like she was carrying something sacred. The room smelled like industrial cleaner and vending machine coffee and old metal. There was glass between us. Not a table, glass. Like I was something dangerous. Like I was something to be protected from. Alicia was wearing a little yellow dress, and she had these braids that Janelle had done up with little white beads on the ends. And she was holding a card she'd made. Construction paper. A big crayon sun in the corner, yellow and orange scribbles going off the edge. And in the middle, in letters that leaned sideways like they were falling over, it said, Daddy. Not Daddy. D-A-D-Y. Because she was 3 and she didn't know how to spell it yet. And no one was there to teach her because I was behind glass. She pressed that card against the glass and waved at me with her other hand, and she was smiling. She was smiling because she didn't understand yet. She didn't know that this wasn't normal. She didn't know that other daddies came home at night and read stories and burned pancakes on Saturday mornings. She just knew I was behind the glass, and she was happy to see me. I pressed my hand against my side of the glass, and I looked at Janelle's face. And Janelle's face was not smiling. Janelle's face was already saying goodbye. She had that look, the one where someone's already made a decision but hasn't found the words yet. I could see it in the way she held her shoulders, the way she wouldn't quite look me in the eyes. She was already leaving. Not because she didn't love me, because she couldn't keep waiting for a miracle that wasn't coming. That was the last time she brought Alicia. The second moment was in 2016, 22 years in. An attorney, a new one, a young woman from an innocence project, she filed a DNA motion. I sat in a concrete room waiting for a hearing. The room smelled like bleach and rust. There was a metal table bolted to the floor, and I could hear the air moving through the vents above me, this low whistling sound, like the building itself was exhaling. A guard walked in. He wasn't there for the hearing. He just leaned against the doorframe, casual, like he was telling me the cafeteria menu had changed. And he said, "Hey, just so you know, your mother passed last Tuesday. Last Tuesday. She died on a Tuesday and no one called me. No one came to tell me. No one thought it was urgent enough to interrupt my schedule of sitting in a cell and staring at a wall. My mother died on a Tuesday, and I found out on a Thursday. From a guard who said it the way you'd say it's supposed to rain later. I didn't go to the funeral. They wouldn't let me. I didn't get to hold her hand. I didn't get to say I'm sorry for missing every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every Sunday dinner. I didn't get to tell her that the last thing she said to me at sentencing, "I'll be here when you get out, baby," was the sentence I replayed every single night for 22 years to keep myself alive. She wasn't here when I got out. Nobody was. And I sat in that room with the bleach and the rust and the whistling vents. And the silence got so loud it became a sound of its own. A ringing, a pressure, like the air was being sucked out of the room and replaced with something heavier. And that's when I realized it. Not slowly, not gradually. All at once, like a window shattering. Nobody was coming. The cards from Alicia had already stopped. I didn't know it then, but they'd stopped that very year. Now I'm back at this table, back with the box. And I'm reading these cards one by one, and each one is a year of my daughter's life that I missed. Age 5. Glitter glue all over the envelope. I miss you, Daddy. Mommy helped me write this. I drew a dog because I want one. Do you want one too? She dotted her eyes with little circles. Age 10. The handwriting is neater now, more careful. Dear Dad, Mom says you're coming home soon. I hope she's right. I'm in 4th grade. My teacher's name is Mrs. Patterson, and she's nice. I got an A in reading. She drew a smiley face at the bottom. Just one. Age 15. The card is shorter. Store-bought now, not handmade. She wrote 3 lines inside. Hey, Dad. Hope you're doing okay. School is fine. I don't really know what to write anymore. Age 18. Dad, I don't know if you read these. I don't know if they even give them to you. I graduated today. Mom cried. I kept looking at the empty seat we saved. Happy birthday, I guess. Age 22. The last one. Her handwriting is an adult's now. Steady, clear, no crayon, no glitter glue, just black pen on a plain white card. I have a son now. His name is Marcus. I named him after Grandpa. I won't be writing anymore. I hope you're okay. I just can't keep sending these into the dark. Then nothing. 8 more years of nothing. 8 birthdays where she didn't pick up a pen. 8 years where she finally did what I'd been terrified of every single day behind that glass. She moved on. I put the cards down. The box sits in the middle of the table like a coffin for a life that should have been. And across from me there's an empty chair. Just a wooden chair pushed against the table. Nobody sits in it. Nobody's going to sit in it tonight, or tomorrow night, or the night after that. I have a grandson named Marcus, and I've never heard his voice. I have a daughter who grew up writing letters to a ghost and finally had the good sense to stop. The box just sits there, open. mocking me with glitter glue and crayon suns and the slow, terrible evolution of a little girl's handwriting into a woman's goodbye. Now I'm going to talk to you, and I need you to listen to me like your life depends on it, because maybe it does. You think you've got time. I know you do. You think the people who love you are going to keep loving you on your schedule. You think your daughter is always going to call. You think your mother is always going to answer the door. You think that dinner invitation you turned down, that birthday party you skipped, that phone call you sent to voicemail, you think those things are small. They are not small. They are everything. They are the only thing. People don't leave because they stop loving you. They leave because they're alive, because life doesn't pause, because a little girl can only press so many cards against the glass before she realizes the glass isn't going to break. You want to know the worst part of my story? I was innocent. I didn't do anything wrong, and I still lost everything. Every single thing that mattered. So I need you to hear me when I say this. What is your excuse? You're not behind glass. You're not in the cell. You have a phone in your hand right now. Call your daughter. Go to the boring dinner. Sit through the long Sunday visit. Hold your mother's hand while she still has the strength to squeeze back. Fight for your people. Fight for them while they still recognize your face. Because I promise you, the box is already being packed. The cards are already being written. And one day, if you're not careful, they're going to stop. And you'll sit at a table just like this one, under a light that buzzes just like this one. And you'll realize that the chair across from you is empty, and nobody is coming to fill it.